Hare Krishna. So what is our objective in Krishna consciousness? In Krishna consciousness, our objective is to get to understand Krishna more and more. That is the only objective we have. How to understand Krishna. And Krishna is inconceivable. No one can actually understand Krishna. It's only by the mercy of Krishna that one can get to know Him. In this respect, we can just consider one factor, that ocean and a drop of water. Krishna is like an ocean, and we are like drops of water. Our consciousness is like very, very minute, very small, very limited, very tiny. So how can we, the jivas, understand the absolute? How can the ocean fit in to a drop of water? Is it possible for an ocean to fit into a drop of water? So similarly, it is not possible for us to conceive Krishna, who is absolute. So, but although it is impossible for us, by Krishna's mercy, we can get to know Him. And it is by His mercy that different possibilities have been revealed and made. Like for example, say Brahma, we are studying Brahma Samhita. It is actually a manifestation of Krishna's mercy. It is by Krishna's mercy that Brahma saw Him. And Brahma described his identity, Krishna's identity. And it has been presented. It has been recorded. And then Krishna himself came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he revealed, he retrieved it, rediscovered it. And today we are able to study that and somehow understand that. And actually the real understanding will come from the cleansing or from the purification of our heart. The more the heart becomes purified, the more we will be able to understand this subject matter, this topic. We will be able to understand Krishna. যদি বেশি শব্দ হয় বন্ধ করে দাও. Now it's not so bad. Maybe later on we have to do something. So, that is what Krishna consciousness is offering us. Somehow, we are actually getting information about Krishna and we are learning the process of cleansing our hearts by practicing devotional service. And as the heart becomes purified, as Chetodarpana Marjanam, as the heart becomes cleansed, to that extent, Dibbogyan will become manifest within our hearts. Dibbogyan Hriday Prakashita. By intellectually, we will not be able to understand that. By means of our intelligence, by means of our memory, by means of all these faculties from the brain, we won't be able to understand Krishna. Adurlabham Atma Bhaktu. What is the meaning of that? Vedeshu Durlabham. Krishna is Vedeshu Durlabham. Krishna cannot be achieved, Krishna cannot be understood by studying the Vedas. Vedeshu Durlabham. But Adurlabham, it is very easy for a devotee to understand Krishna. Atma Bhakto. Why? Because his heart has been... Who is a devotee? Devotee is a person whose heart has been purified. And what is the sign of purification of heart? The sign of purification of heart is surrender. See, it's all working simultaneously. You get to know Krishna. When you get to know Krishna, what do you understand? That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the greatest. So when you recognize Krishna is the greatest, then automatically what are you going to do? When you recognize your minute position and surrender to Him. Therefore, it is only a matter of surrender. At the beginning, it begins with surrender, and it continues with surrender, and it continues to surrender even more. The surrender never stops. And the more we advance, more surrendered we become. And more we surrender, the more the mercy of the Lord becomes manifest. It's a very, very unique, very amazing process. So we are studying Brahma Samhita. Why? In order to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, why are you studying Brahma Samhita? Because through Brahma Samhita we are getting a clear understanding who Krishna is. As we go on, we will see how through Brahma Samhita we can actually understand Krishna. Because what is the ultimate consideration of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahapuran? We discussed the other day. What is the ultimate consideration? Ashraya. Nirodha, Muktir, Ashraya. Mukti means liberation. Now this is even beyond liberation. There is something even beyond liberation. What is beyond liberation? The beyond liberation is surrender to Krishna. Beyond liberation is devotional service. Beyond liberation is establishing our relationship with Krishna. Like for example, a prisoner may think to get out of the prison is the only goal. When he is in the prison, he may think that going out of the prison is the only goal. But when he comes out of the prison, then what? Does he have to do something? And when he comes out of the prison and he can establish a relationship with the king, then his life is perfect. So this aspect, ashraya, which actually means taking shelter, the supreme shelter, Krishna. So this ashraya is like getting out of the prison house and becoming engaged in the loving relationship with the king. Not the king, king of kings, Krishna. So, first few verses we discussed yesterday and day before yesterday. So, do you all remember the first verse? What did the first verse of Brahma's prayer describe? Describe the spiritual sky. What it is like. Chintamani prakara sadmasu. And then the next three verses describe Krishna's identity, Krishna's beauty, Krishna's form. Venum kanantam aravinda dalaya taksham. Aravinda means lotus. Dal means petal. Ayata means wide, large. Aravinda dalaya taksham. In this way, Krishna's beauty has been described. Then, Alola Chandra Kalasad Banamalla Bamsi. Again, Krishna's beauty is being described. Then, Angani Jassa Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. And I'm sorry, Angani Jasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti, and then Krishna's identity as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First three verses are this. The first one verse is describing his spiritual abode. Then three verses are describing his Satchidananda Vigraha. Then it is describing his identity. Who is he? Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adam Purana Purushang Navajovanancha. So he's Advaita, he's one without a second. And although he is Purana Purusham, the Supreme Primeval Lord, the oldest of the oldest, Purana Purusham, but Navajovanancha, he is eternally youthful. So actually in this way you can see that the four verses are actually describing Krishna's Satchidananda Vigraha, how it is. And then the fifth verse is describing Panthastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamya. By any other means, yoga, meditation, austerity, penance, sacrifice, won't work. At the most, we'll end up at the toe of the lotus feet of the Lord. The question actually came up, what does it mean, the toe of the lotus feet of the Lord? The toe of the lotus feet of the Lord is actually Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti. Not really understanding him fully, just getting confused. So this process of jnana and yoga will simply lead to a point when we won't be able to perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Vedeshu Durlabham, in this way, even through the Vedas, he is Durlabh, he is rare, but not rare, Adurlabham, to his own devotees. Devotees can get to know him very easily. So now the choice is open to us. Do we try to recognize Krishna by recognizing him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or we will try to understand him through our intellectual and mental speculation? Jnana and yoga, these are all mental speculation, activities of the mind. It is not real. It can lead to the spiritual point, and that spiritual point will further lead to the process of devotion. This also has been very clearly explained. What is the ultimate point of the yoga? Jnana also leads to yoga. Jnana will lead to yoga, Ashtanga yoga. And what is the ultimate point of yoga, Ashtanga yoga? The ultimate point of Ashtanga yoga is samadhi. Samadhi means seeing the super soul in the heart. That is the samadhi. So when one sees the super soul in the heart, then automatically what will happen? When you see Krishna in your heart, what will you do? Surrender. So the samadhi will lead to surrender, which is the beginning of devotion. So proper guidance will lead to the point of devotion, whether we approach through jnana, whether we approach through karma, or whether we approach through yoga. But just karma, jnana and yoga by itself cannot lead us to anything, anywhere. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, Otoev Shanto, Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami, Shakuli Ashanto. Bhukti, who is a Bhuktikami? Those who are following the process of karma yoga, trying to enjoy the material nature. Karma yogi means Bhuktikami. Mukti, Jnana yogis are aspiring for Mukti, liberation. And Siddhi, perfection, who are actually aspiring for perfection? Yogis. So Karmi, Jnani and Yogi are all Ashanto. They are disturbed within their heart. They're perturbed, they're agitated, they're in anxiety, they're in stress all the time. But Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Atoev Shantu. But Krishna Bhakta, the devotee of Krishna, is free from all desire. Therefore, he is completely peaceful. So now we go on to the next verse, 35. Ekapasau rachaitum jagadanda koti jachakti rasti jagadanda chaya jadanta andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Pantha eko api asau. Although he is one, he created Rachaitum Jagadanda Kotim. He has created unlimited jagads or universes. He is one without a second, yet he has created unlimited universes. Jagadanda Kotim. And Jat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chaya Jadanta. His potency is permeating throughout Jagadanda Chaya, all the universes. And they are actually resting in him. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. All the atoms, in every single atom that prevails, that pervades the entire creation, he is present in them. He is one. He creates the entire creation consisting of unlimited universes, yet he is present in every single atom. Speak of inconceivable. Try to think of it. We are talking about ocean in a drop of water. Try to consider atom. He is the creator, and he is the maintainer, every sustainer of. He creates all the universes, he maintains all the universes, yet he is present in every single atom. Paramanu chayantarastham. Govindam adipurusham tamaham. Now, ordinary people will say, oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But the question is that it is unbelievable only as long as we do not accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The moment we accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then automatically we have to also accept the fact that he has inconceivable potency. He can do anything. Just like he said, let there be light, and there was light. Can we understand what it means? Everywhere there was darkness. And he said, let there be light. He just thought, let there be light. And immediately light appeared. Light appeared in the sense, the light didn't appear just like that. The suns appeared, moons appeared. All the arrangements were immediately made. He created the universes and makes them float in the space. How is it possible? Yes, with our tiny brain, we'll not be able to understand. Therefore, don't try to understand. Accept. That is the meaning of faith. This faith, of course, is not blind faith. It is faith substantiated with the clear understanding that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he can do anything. But the unfortunate thing is that in today's world, they believe in the inconceivable potency of Superman. They believe in inconceivable potency of Batman. They can believe in inconceivable potency of Spider-Man. But they don't want to believe in the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyway, this is their misfortune. If a blind man cannot see the sun, whose misfortune it is? Is it the misfortune of the sun that the blind man cannot see the sun? Is it the misfortune of the men with good eyes? Huh? No. It is misfortune of the person who is blind. The blindness is his misfortune. Similarly, this is the spiritual blindness due to which they are not able to see the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jad bhavo bhavita dhiyo manujas tathaiva samprapya rupa mahima sanajana bhusha suktair jameva nigama prathitais tuvanti govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Jad bhavo bhavita dhiyo manujas tathaiva. Jad bhavo means for whom with devotion. That is the bhava, devotion. Bhavita being influenced, being imbued. And dhiya, whose hearts, whose intelligence, whose consciousness. Being influenced or being imbued by devotion, the personalities, they acquire their manuja. Manuja means the human beings, mankind, the offsprings of Manu, men. Samprapya rupa mahima sanajana bhusha. They achieve rupa, beauty, physical beauty. Mahima, glory. Asana, position. Bhusha, decoration or ornaments. So whatever one gets, like, so today I'm sitting in this asana. By whose grace? By the divine grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one has to understand that. Somebody becomes a king. Why? By the grace of the Lord. Somebody is very beautiful. By whose grace he has the beauty? By whose grace he has the opulence? By whose grace he has the power? By whose grace he has the position and honor and glory? Govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. An intelligent person will recognize that whatever I have, even you all, wherever you are sitting, asana, by whose glory you are sitting there. Whatever position you have, whatever opulence you have, whatever beauty you have, whatever strength you have, by whose grace you have them. We have to always remember that. And if we do that, then He will give us more and more. If we become engaged in His service, He will empower us more and more. If we become His agent, He will use us more and more. Like if you have a servant, and if the servant serves you very nicely, what will you do? Won't you give him more facilities and more responsibility? Oh, he is doing it so nicely. Let him give me more responsibility. Let him give me more position. Let me give him more facility. Like many of you are working in offices, in some companies. When you get promotion, why do you get promotion? Mohanananda? Because of your loyal and dedicated service. The more you serve, the more you get promoted. Right? So similarly, we are servants of Krishna. The better we serve Krishna, more we get promoted. And promotion means what? Promotion means better position. Promotion means better facility. Promotion means better power. Right? Promotion means better honor. So even in our mundane world, we see that this is the way things happen. So what to speak of when we become servants of Krishna? Now tell me, what is the best job to take? Many of you are looking for jobs. Tell me, what's the best job to take? The best job is to become the servant of Krishna. Then there is no way of knowing how much Krishna can pay us. And we should not calculate that payment in terms of money. And we shouldn't think that, oh, this person is getting more money, that person is getting more facility, why I am not getting. That is envy. Do not become envious. Because Krishna knows in his heart, from your heart, what is going on in your heart. Krishna will reward you. Tell me, what is more valuable? That you get delivered from the bondage of material nature and go back to Krishna, or it is it is better to get millions of dollars? What is more important? What is more beneficial? So which kind of reward you want from Krishna? Do you want money from Krishna, or you want spiritual benefit from Krishna? So don't wrongly judge it or value it according to the degree of material facilities. But at the same time, when you get material facilities, recognize that it is coming from Krishna. It is by Krishna's grace. So we go to the next verse, 37. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitabhis tabhirja eva nija rupa taya kalabhi goloko eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitabhis. Ananda means bliss. Chinmay means spiritual. Chit means spiritual or transcendental knowledge. Bliss and transcendental knowledge. Ananda, Chinmaya, consisting of rasa, the mellow, pratibhavitabhis, all the time, every second. So who are engrossed in this Ananda Chinmaya rasa. So what is this Ananda Chinmaya rasa eventually? Ananda Chinmaya rasa is pure devotional service. Tabhirja eva nija rupa taya kalabhi, with his own form and parts and portions of his pleasure potency. So Krishna, with his Ananda Chinmaya rasa, with his devotion from his devotees, especially Srimati Radharani. And he is enjoying that in Goloko eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto. With that he is residing in Golok Vrindavan, yet he is situated in everyone's heart. Golok eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta, in the heart of every living entity. Goloko eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Golok, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidence, Sakhi, embodiment of the extensions of her bodily form, permeates and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. So, this Ananda Chinmaya rasa pratibhavitabhis tabhirja eva nija rupa taya kalabhi. Nija rupa taya kalabhi. Nija rupa, Radharani's form is identical to Krishna's form. But it is just a feminine form. Actually, Krishna's feminine form originally is Mohini Murti. He became a female. So in a way, Radharani also is saying that his own spiritual figure and embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities. So main point is Krishna in the spiritual sky is always enjoying the loving exchange with Srimati Radharani, who is endowed with all the spiritual qualities and who is serving Krishna with all the love, making arrangements for Krishna with her pure devotion constantly in the spiritual sky, and Krishna is enjoying with her there. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti jang shama sundaram achinta gunaswarupam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Premanjana, prem means love, of love. And anjana means, anjana means mascara, kajal, anjan. What are the other names? The ladies will know it better. Anjana, a salve. This is that applied in the eyes, anjana. So it's the mascara or salve of the eyes. But this is the different kinds of anjan. Prem anjan. That means when our eyes become anointed with love. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. When our eyes become anointed with love, and when our vision becomes saturated with devotion, then santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Those personalities who have achieved that, whose eyes have become anointed with love for Krishna and whose vision has been saturated with devotion, vilochanena. Those shantas, hridayeshu vilokayanti, all the time they see him at the core of their hearts. Hridayeshu vilokayanti. What do they see in the core of their heart? How do they see him in the core of their hearts? Jang Shama Sundaram. His form is Sham Sundar. Extremely beautiful form. With a transcendental dark complexion. It is not material darkness or material black. It's not black. It's Shama Sundar. We can't imagine what kind of color it is. Once a very dark person asked Prabhupada whether Krishna was black. Prabhupada told him, yes, but not like you. His darkness, his black, his complexion is not like what we know, black and white. It's not that. So, it's transcendental. Jang Shama Sundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam. And that form is an embodiment of all the gunas, all the transcendental qualities. Inconceivable transcendental qualities. Achinta Guna Swarupam. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishthan Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat paramah pumanjo govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Ramadi murtishu kala niyamena tishthan. The incarnation like Ram, Nrsimha, Varaha, Kurma, these incarnations are kala niyamena tishthan. His parts and his parts and parts. Nana avataram akarod bhuvaneshu kintu. He manifested himself in various incarnations in this world. Kintu Krishna swayam, but Krishna swayam samabhavat paramah pumanju. But Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna swayam samabhavat paramah pumanjo govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda. So this is how we can see the relationship between Krishna and the incarnation. And every aspect of Brahma Samhita we can actually relate to Srimad Bhagavatam. These are all there in Srimad Bhagavatam. But in Brahma Samhita they have been presented in a concise and saturated form. Through Brahma's prayer, this Bhagavatam is actually becoming clear and revealed to us. So I will stop here today in 39th verse. And if anybody has any question, can ask now. The questions are supposed to be written in the written form. Oh, that's right. Where is Krishnendu? Right, there he is. Very good. Thank you for reminding. Krishnendu, give me your question. Krishnendu had a question yesterday. What is the difference between Brahmavadi and Mayavadi? Right? Brahmavadis and Mayavadis, the difference is the Mayavadis are negative impersonalists and Brahmavadis are positive impersonalists. Positive impersonalists mean from Brahmavad, this impersonalism one can become a personalist or a devotee. Like Sukadev Goswami. At the beginning, Sukadev Goswami was an impersonalist. 4 Kumars. At the beginning they were impersonalists, but then they became devotees of Krishna. So they are positive. That is, they are approaching Brahma, and then from Brahma they are open to accept that Krishna is the form or the personal form of the Lord is beyond Brahman. Brahma Jyoti, Brahma is the bodily effulgence of the Lord. But Mayavadis, for them, Brahma is everything and the forms are all illusory. Right? Like even the form of the Lord and the incarnations, according to the Mayavadis, they are illusory. They are material, they are mundane. So that is the basic difference. Mayavadis are in the negative direction. They can, unless they give up the Mayavad, they'll never be able to approach. From the negative kingdom, from the negative region, deeper you go in the negative region, the further away you go from the positive. Right? But you are in the positive direction, there is a region which is impersonal understanding. That is, when you enter into the spiritual sky, you see the Brahma Jyoti. That is impersonal. That doesn't have any form. But beyond Brahma Jyoti is the personal feature of the Lord. So that's the difference. Mayavadis think that even Krishna's form is product of Maya. All the incarnations are Maya. There is no form at all. Brahman is the ultimate, that is formless. That is the absolute, ultimate. But the Brahmavad is no beyond that impersonal form. There is a Supreme Personality. And that's why Upanishad actually is describing that please remove that curtain of Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is actually obstructing my vision of the Lord. Please remove that so that I can see His personal form. So, there is a question from Sudhanidhi Das. Okay. Brahma says that Krishna cannot be understood or known through the study of the Vedas. I cannot reconcile the two apparently opposite statements. That is, that only through the study of the Vedas, Krishna cannot be understood. But through the approach of the Vedas, when you go to the devotion, then through devotion only you can understand Krishna. Studying of the Vedas without devotion, you will never be able to understand Krishna. You understand? বুঝতে পেরেছ? বুঝতে পারো নি? শুধু বেদ পাঠ করলেই কৃষ্ণকে জানা যাবে না। ভক্তি সহকারে বেদ পাঠ করলেই কেবল জানা যাবে। গুরুর কৃপাতে বেদের তাৎপর্য যখন প্রকাশিত হবে তখনই কেবল জানতে পারবে। বেদান্তকৃত মানে আমি বেদের প্রণেতা, বেদান্তকৃত, বেদবিদ, আমি বেদবেত্তা, আমি বেদ দিয়েছি। ঠিক আছে, যেটা আমি বলেছি সেটা বোঝবার চেষ্টা কর। During Lasa Leela, Krishna was with gopis individually, or one Krishna was moving with great speed to reach every gopi. Similarly, in Dwarka, Krishna was with 1,600 wives. Individually, I think. One Krishna, named Soni. This is your question. Krishna is in the heart of everybody. Is it he's moving so fast that he's in everybody's heart? Why does he have to move so fast? Why? That is Krishna. That is the difference between you and Krishna. You are one, and you cannot be two. But Krishna, although he is one, he can be unlimited. Is Krishna in everyone's heart? सबका दिल में है परमात्मा के रूप में। अगर हर के दिल में कृष्ण रह सकता है तो हर गोपी के साथ क्यों नहीं डांस कर सकते? ओके। Why do we realize after committing sin that why I did it? For example, if a mosquito disturbs us and we kill him, after killing him, why this realization come in our heart that he also have a soul which is part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and instead of killing, we should love him. According to the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiva Prem, why this kind of feeling doesn't come in our heart when we see some poor or beggars? Okay. You see, it will happen gradually. It may not be there right now. But that, now that you're thinking, that you're feeling bad after killing the mosquito, that is a sign of progress. Because before you killed the mosquito and didn't bother about it and wanted to kill other mosquitoes also. But now after killing one mosquito, you think, oh, I shouldn't have done it. Now, is it a progress? Isn't it a progress? So keep moving. Keep on practicing devotional service. Yes, a time will come when you won't even kill a mosquito. In that respect, I remember one instance in Vrindavan. We are serving Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and I was serving Srila Prabhupada. And we used to live in the same room. And Vrindavan used to have a lot of mosquitoes. Vrindavan, maybe even now, there are lots of mosquitoes. So those days, there were lots of mosquitoes. And we used to try to do all kinds of things. Those days, we didn't have good night and all those stuff. The only thing was mosquito net and cover the windows with nets. So one day Tamal Krishna Maharaj and I was talking, and then all of a sudden he noticed that on his leg, one mosquito was happily sucking his blood. And he was about to slap it, but then it stopped midway. His immediate reaction was, but then he stopped. Then he didn't hit the mosquito. So this is how one actually develops compassion. Yes, a mosquito also has the right to survive. Our blood is the mosquito's food by Krishna's arrangement. So what to do? So if we become very advanced, then we'll think, okay, let him drink. Just as I have my food, let him also have his food. Even though at some expense. At the most we can just remove it. Okay, you had enough of my blood. Don't get too fat. Control your diet now. Quite a few questions, huh? Achha, this one from Snigdha. I have to check it. Most probably Lakshman actually used his bow and arrow. I have to check that. But Ram had his sword also. I think they had both. Anyway, I forgot to look at it. I'll see it. Hollywood and Bollywood are now making a big budget film on the Ramayana in Rajasthan. The American director previously made silly comedies. We, my sister and I, are upset because we call Ramayana mythical, and we are afraid they will make an awful film full of untrue information. Yes, so what to do? Hollywood and Bollywood got together with their multi-million-dollar project. Let them, because at least people will get to know about Ram. It's better to know about Ram than Superman. If they portray Ram as a Superman, there is no harm. And they'll probably make some hodgepodge here and there. Oh, these questions are from Jamuna, Radhika and Gaurangi. Is all three sisters. Where is Gaurangi? Okay. Thank you, Gaurangi, for your question. Thank you for your concern. And when you grow up, you make a better Ramayana. Oh, it's a big question. Radhika Priya. It's a question or a letter? Radhika Priya. Where is Radhika Priya? Okay. In Ramayana, it is said, once the celestial Kamdhenu named Surabhi happened to see that two of her sons had fallen to the ground unconscious. The two bullocks had worked very hard all day for a cruel farmer, ploughing the fields in the hot sun. When Surabhi saw them in such a pitiful condition, tears fell from her eyes upon Indra's head. When Indra looked up to see the aggrieved Surabhi, he inquired of the cause of her distress. After Surabhi explained what had happened, Indra said, in the entire world no one can be more dear to a mother than her son. If Lord Indra said that, then why he want to kill all her cow children and the people of Braja when he sent the great rainstorm? That is Krishna's pastimes, and Indra at that time was bewildered by Yogamaya. He became so overwhelmed with emotion of anger that apparently he lost his sanity. This is from Joy. Who is Joy? This question is, dear Guru Maharaj, why do Radharani and the gopis on the altar and on painting never wear tilak? Krishna wears tilak. Radharani doesn't wear tilak because Radharani herself is the tilak. Whose question is that? Jay or Joy? Huh? Oh, I see. In the Mahabharata, the wise brother of Dhritarashtra, Vidura, was the son of Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas. Vidura's mother was a maidservant to Ambalika. I read that Mandaba Muni cursed Jamraj. Thus Jamraj came to be Vidura. The birth of the Pandavas was many, many years later. Vidura was still on the planet at the time of the birth of the Pandavas. Yudhishthir, the eldest Pandava prince, was conceived by Kunti and Jamraj. Therefore, how is it that at the birth of Yudhishthir, Vidura was at the planet as an incarnation of Jamraj? I heard another demigod took charge of the hellish planet while Vidura was on the planet. How is that Jamraj came to give Kunti a child? So here we have to understand that when Jamraj's position was not vacant. Okay, Jamraj became Vidura, but Jamraj's position was taken up. So the personality who was Jamraj at that time was the father of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Okay, I'll end the last question, and so many. Because it's already 9 o'clock. What to be done when our eyes are not filled with love for Krishna, but are filled with Maya? It's something like, what to be done when my stomach is empty? Huh? What to be done? Okay. Fill it up with food. When your heart is devoid of Krishna Prem, fill it up with Krishna Prem. Follow the process.